Hi everyone. Today we are going to discuss the first chapter of class 9, that is the motion. So in this chapter we will detail discuss the some topic like distance, displacement, speed, velocity, average speed, average velocity, acceleration, and at last we will discuss the equations of motion. And at last we will also discuss some basic concept of circular motion. So let us start this chapter with the first topic, motion. So how to define motion? You can see over here the motion. Suppose you are sitting on the earth, okay, or someone is asking, tell me whether you are at the rest condition or motion condition, okay. So you will ask with them, tell me the reference point. Suppose if your reference point is sun, so you know that earth is revolving around the sun, or with the earth you are also revolving around the sun. So you can say that with respect to sun you are in the motion condition, whereas with respect to earth you are in the rest condition, because you are not changing your position with respect to earth, you are changing your positions with respect to sun. Got it? In the similar way, if you are saying that if sun is the reference point, so sun is at rest condition with respect to sun, whereas sun is moving with respect to me. So who will decide the particle or person or object, is it rest condition or motion condition? Who will decide? Observer. It depends upon the reference point, or you can say that it depends upon the observer. So you can say that rest or motion, these two physical quantities are relative quantity. It's not a absolute quantity. Okay. So you can say that if it change its positions of a body with respect to time, a body is changing its positions with respect to time, so you can definitely say that that particle or that object is performing its motion. Okay, you consider one example. Suppose we have, this is the y-axis, you know everyone, this is the y-axis and this is the x-axis. Is it clear to everyone? Now initially the positions of particle is origin. You can say this is the O. This is the positions of a particle. You can say that this is the positions of a person. You can say that this is the person at origin. After time t, you can say that at time t1, the positions of particle is somewhere here. You can say this is the point A. You can say this is the point A. Now you can see over here. Now you can see here, if the particle is change its positions with respect to time, then we can say that the particle is in motion condition. Initially particle is at origin, at after time t1 particle is at positions A, so you can say that the particle is changing here its positions with respect to time. That's why this particle is in motion condition. Got it? Hope it is clear to everyone. Now move to the next point related to the motions. Now we have motion can also be described with respect to distance as well as displacement. We have already discussed with you that if the OA, here in the previous slide we have already seen that OA is the distance covered by the particle. What is the distance, what is the displacement, we will discuss later in detail. Right now we can say that OA is the distance covered by the particle. So motion can also be described with the help of distance as well as displacement. Hope it is clear to everyone. So move to the next. We have the next is distance and displacement. Now we are going to discuss about the distance and displacement. Now how to define the distance and displacement? Now you can see over here. What is the distance? I have already discussed with you that it is the actual length of the path traveled by a body. What is the meaning of here actual length? We will discuss here, because suppose this is the y-axis and this is the x-axis. Okay. Now the particle is performing like this semicircular motion, like you can see over here. Take the particle is covering the from positions O to A, position O to A. Now you can see here, if the radius of this semicircle is, you can say like 5 meter, you can say 5 meter. If the particle is going along this path, okay. So what is the perimeter of semicircle? You know that the perimeter of semicircle is pi r. Okay. So this is the perimeter. This is the actual length. This is the actual length covered by the particle. You can say that this is the actual length. Actual length. Okay. Now you can see here from O to A. O to A is the displacement covered by the particle. O to A is not a actual length, whereas this is the actual length. So distance is the actual length covered by the particle, whereas the displacement is not a actual length. It depends upon the final positions of particle and initial positions of particle. Okay. So now hope it is clear to everyone the meaning of actual length of path. Okay. So move to the next. Now what is the SI unit of distance? The SI unit of distance is meter. It is measured by the meter in SI unit. और in CGS unit क्या हो जाएगा बच्चों? This is in centimeter. Okay. So move to the next point. It is the scalar quantity. It is the scalar quantity. What is the meaning of scalar quantity? Let us discuss. Before going to discuss about the distance and displacement, whether it is scalar or vector, so let us discuss what is the scalar or what is the vector. Okay. So everyone try to understand what is the vector or what is the scalar. We have two physical quantity, a scalar and vector. Okay. So how to define a scalar? Any physical quantity that has magnitude only. Okay, it does not depends upon the direction. You can say that such physical quantity are a scalar quantity. That means if you change the direction of a particle of velocity, you can say v, if its magnitude does not depend upon its direction, you can say that this is the scalar quantity. If the magnitude of a physical quantity depends upon the direction, that means its magnitude will change whenever the direction of particle will change. So you can say that such quantity are vector quantity. So vector quantity have both magnitude as well as direction, whereas in the scalar quantity has only magnitude. So you can see over here, if you want to measure the path of a length, you have required only just a meter. Does not require the direction, in which direction you are going to measure the length of the path. Just you need to, yes, this is the 5 meter, this is the 10 meter, this is the 15 meter. So here only magnitude is required. So you can say that the distance is a scalar quantity because direction is not required. Hope it is clear to everyone. Now move to the next point. Displacement. Now you can see over here how to define the displacement. I have already discussed with you that the displacement depends upon the final positions of a particle and initial position. So you can say that the shortest path, or you can say that the shortest length of the part of the distance covered by the particle is nothing, it is a displacement. So displacement is the shortest length, whereas distance is the actual path length. Okay, I think it is clear to everyone. Now you can see here, it is the length of shortest path traveled by the body from its initial position to final position. I have already discussed with you, if a particle is moving on semicircular path, you can see over here, suppose this is the semicircular, if this is the semicircular, okay, if this is the O, that is the center, this is the path of a particle, A is the initial position, this is the, you can say that this is the initial position, this is the initial position, or this is the final position, this is the final position. So you can say that this is the initial position and this is the final position. Okay, this is the distance, or whereas this is the displacement, because this is the shortest path. Okay, I think, hope it is clear to everyone. So move to the next point related to the displacement, whether it is a scalar or vector. It is measured by meter. The unit of displacement is same as the unit of distance, because both are length. One is the actual length or another one is the shortest length, but both are the length na. That's why the unit is meter. Now what is the scalar or vector? Tell me. This is the vector quantity. This is the vector quantity. Please focus on this point. This is the vector quantity. Displacement is a vector quantity because it depends upon the final positions. So you need to mention it's a final position, whether it is in east direction, it is west direction, or north direction, or south direction, or in other terms in I cap, j cap. Okay, so you need to mention the final positions of a particle in this field, so you can say that the displacement is a vector quantity because it depends upon the direction also. Okay, so move to the next point. I have already discussed with this. The distance is the actual path of travel by the body. The displacement, it is the length of the shortest path. Just it is the difference you can say here simultaneously. It is the actual or it is the shortest path. Hope it is clear to everyone. Now you can see over here. We have a simple example. What is given here? There is a boy sitting on cycle. Okay. And this is the home and this is the tree. You can see over here. This boy is traveling from A to C. Let us say this is the Ramu. This is the Ramu Chacha. This is the Ramu Chacha. And this is the home of his GF. इसके गर्लफ्रेंड का ये होम है. He is planning to move or to chill out somewhere. Okay. So first of all, this boy will pick up his girlfriend from her home and they will move to the position C. Is it clear to everyone? Now you can see over here, A to O is covered by this boy and B to C is covered by this boy also. If you are asking that, tell me the total distance covered by this boy. So you can say that the total distance. What is this? The total distance. How much? Total distance here. The total distance covered by the boy is how much? You can say that A to B. This is A to B. You can say that this is A to B plus B to C. This is the total distance covered by this boy. If you are asking that, tell me the displacement covered by this boy. Tell me the displacement. So you can see over here, A to C is the shortest path. So you can say that this is the displacement. So if you want to write the displacement of this boy, so how to write displacement? Sorry, this is the displacement. So displacement is here. How much? Displacement is A to C. So you can write here the displacement is A to C. That is equal to how much? 5 meter. That is equal to 5 meter. Or the distance, this is the 4 meter and this is the 3 meter. So this is the total how much? 7 meter. I think, hope it is clear to everyone. What is the difference of distance and displacement? Okay. Now move to the next point. So based on distance and displacement, we have a very simple questions based on the definition. Now you can see over here. What is given in the questions? A car travels from stop A to stop B with some speed that is the 30 km per hour and it returns back to A with some speed that is 50 km per hour. Just you need to find the displacement of the car. What is asking? Tell me the total displacement covered by the car? Tell me the answer overly. If you know the definition of displacement, you can say the answer directly. What is given? Here given is that, what is given? If this is the positions of A, of car A, and this is the positions of B, let us suppose car is traveling initially from A to B. Okay. Now again car is returned back. Car is returned back from B to A. That means the initial positions of car A is A and the final positions of car A is A. You can see here the initial and final positions of car is same. If the initial and final position is same, so you can say directly that the displacement is 0. So answer क्या होगा बच्चों? Answer is 0. 0 meter. Here 0 meter. Because this initial and final positions of particle is same. So move to the next topic. So what we have the next topic? We have the next topic uniform motion and non-uniform motion. Till now you have aware of motion. Now you need to tell me whether the motion is uniform or non-uniform. How to say this motion is uniform and this motion is non-uniform? Now you can see over here. So we have the first is uniform motion. What is? We are going to discuss the first, that is the uniform motion. How to define uniform motion? Now you can see here, if a body travel equal distance in equal time interval. Now you can focus here. The particle must cover the equal distance in equal time interval. Then you are able to say that the motion is uniform motion. Okay, what is the meaning of equal interval in equal time interval? Now you can see here, just for I am drawing a graph. You can see here, this is your y-axis and this is your x-axis. This is your x-axis. You can see over here. Suppose this is 5 seconds, okay, this is 10 seconds, this is 15 seconds, and this is 20 seconds. Okay, now the positions of particle at 5 seconds is somewhere here, or you can say that say that this position is 5 meter. Okay. Now move to the next interval. Next interval at t equal to 10 seconds. You can say that the positions of particle is somewhere here. This is the 10 meter. Now you can draw the graph, or you can say that this. Okay. In the next interval, you can say that this is the. Okay. Now you can see over here a first interval. The duration between origin to this is 5 seconds, and in the positions this is the 5 meter. In the next 5 seconds, the particle is also moving with the 5 meter. In the next, here the time is changing by the 5 unit, or position is also changing with the 5 unit. So in equal time interval, that here interval is 5 unit. So in equal time interval, positions of particle is also changing with the equal time, equal interval. Okay, so you can say that in such a conditions, the particle is performing uniform motion. If it cover the equal distance in equal time interval, you can say that such type of motion is your uniform motion. Okay, now got it? If you are drawing this, you will get the graph like this. Okay, so move to the next. So our next point is non-uniform motion. How to define non-uniform motion? Because you know about the uniform motion, just you say that if unequal distance is covered by the unequal time interval, or you can say that if equal time interval distance is covered is unequal, so such type of motion is non-uniform motion. So that is written here. If a body travel unequal distances in equal time interval, you can say that This type of motion is non-uniform motion. If you want to draw the graph, it's a very simple graph. Just take any random. If this is, suppose if this is the y-axis, that is representing your position, that is representing position. Okay, this is your position, and this is the x-axis. This is the x-axis. This is the time axis, you can say, and this is in second. Okay, if this is in second, now you can see over here. If you want to write, if you want to draw the graph, how to draw? Suppose this is the t1. T1 is equal to 5 seconds. Okay, suppose this is t2. This is the t2, or this is the 10 second. Okay, and this is your t3, and this is also the 15 second. Okay, now if you want to draw the graph of position, now you can see here, if this is y1, this is y1, or this is y2, and this is y3. Now you can see over here, the duration in time axis is 5 unit. Every duration is 5 unit. The interval is 5. Whereas you can see over here on the positions graph, at t1 the positions is y1. Positions is y1. Okay. At t2 the positions is somewhere here. At t3 positions is here. Now you can see here, in equal time interval, the distance covered by the particle is unequal. So such type of motion is non-uniform motion. Hope it is clear to everyone.